Hello, guys. We're here once again, back with another video. Today, we're going to discuss 1.4 stakeholders. If you guys are liking the content and if you guys have any doubts or anything, please leave a comment and please subscribe. Smash the like button. I am sorry for the inconsistency, but I promise I will try to cover all the topics of IB business. If you guys have any doubts about specific topics, or if you want specific videos about finance, HR, marketing, please leave it below. Today's lesson is about, once again, stakeholders. And our learning outcomes for this lesson is explain the interest of internal and external stakeholders, discuss possible areas of mutual benefit and conflict between stakeholders, and stakeholder mapping. So, the key concepts, uh, innovation and change can have multiple impacts on stakeholder groups. Okay, so the role of stakeholder. A stakeholder is a person, group, or organization that can affect or be affected by an organization's actions, objectives, and policies. They therefore have an interest or concern in any action taken by an organization. So, for example, it seems counterintuitive, but the company's competitor is actually also a stakeholder in the business. Investors or stakeholders. Another stakeholder is the employees, because if the company is not making any money, the employees are going to be like, wait, hold up, am I going to get paid? And the competitors, they want to see how the business is doing. So stakeholder is anyone or organization which will be affected by the actions of your business of a business. So the this is a very formal definition of the stakeholder concept. I'm going to quickly read it. The view that businesses and their managers have responsibilities to a wide range of groups, not just shareholders, is known as the stakeholder concept. This is a more ethical view of management. The traditional view of business is referred to as shareholder concept. As shareholders are the owners of the company, it is important to keep them satisfied, which generally means to increase shareholder value. Okay, so there are internal and external stakeholders. Internal, if you guys, it's really simple if you guys think about it. Internal is inside. So everything inside the business. So employees, shareholders, and managers. External stakeholders, they are another thing. As I said, for example, the example I gave of competitor. Your competitor is not an internal stakeholder because he's not inside the business. He is outside, and that's what external means. External means outside. So if you guys remember these words, it's going to be very simple to figure out which one is which. So the external stakeholders, they include the suppliers, the customers, the government, the banks, special pressure groups, community action groups, competitors, a lot of different uh, people and organizations that depend on your business. So the pressure groups, they consist of individuals with a common interest who they seek to place demands on organizations to act in a particular way to influence or change a behavior. So generally, like pressure groups, they are the woke community, which they praise for sustainability. So if I don't know, McDonald's now, instead of having plastic straws, they have paper straws. So possibly, I'm not sure if that's the case, but possibly some people from pressure groups, they started boycotting McDonald's up until they changed their policy into being more sustainable. And yeah, this is what essentially pressure groups mean. They are people that they demand specific things from businesses and they condemn them if they do not do it. So, yeah. Okay, so we have the a quick image here. of the stakeholders and the stakeholders. Okay, so a very quick image illustrating the whole external and the whole internal here, and yeah, the business. Okay, so do stakeholder interest and objective worksheet in a group. Okay, so this is a quick activity which you can do. It's really simple. So the stakeholders are any group of people which they have an interest in the business. Okay, so the workers, why are they interested in the business? Okay, so they're interested in the business because they receive their money from the business and get they can get promoted and get more money, and yeah. So the managers, the same thing. Owners, they're profit oriented, so the same thing. They want to sell. They want to make as much money as possible. The customers, they're interested in the business because they are interested in the product or service which the business is selling. The suppliers, they're interested in the business because the business buys the supplies from the supplier, so they're active. They give money to the suppliers. So without the business, the supplier they will have less money. And the government is interested because if the company is doing well, you will have to pay taxes, and yeah, and the government is really interested in that. And the local community because the business, if it is large enough, it can generate jobs and circulate the economy. Okay, so moving forward, you guys can see this quick video. I'm gonna leave the presentation in the comments because if I share this video here, there is a very big possibility of getting a strike and getting our video taken down. So I'm gonna leave the presentation down below if you guys want to do this quick activity. It is really simple and it's really fun. Okay, so this is a very simple way of, if you guys would like to take notes, or of visualizing the stakeholder and interest that they have towards the company. So as I had the owners and shareholders, they want profit, vision, liquidity, and efficiency. The government, they want taxation, they want the creation of jobs. The senior management, they want financial performance. The employees, they want pay, conditions, job security, and yeah. Okay, so conflicting stakeholder interests. So the business decisions and activities, they can have both positive and negative effects on stakeholders. But it is rare for all stakeholders to be either positively or negatively affected by one business activity. So let's say that the example that I gave of McDonald's. Let's say that they decided to go back and they put the plastic straws back into the menu for their drinks. So a lot of people, especially the pressure groups, they would feel extremely disrespected and they would start again boycotting McDonald's for their lack of sustainability. But me, for example, I hate these paper straws. I'm all for sustainability, but if anybody has ever had one, you guys know it is terrible. It always you don't finish your drink and it's already like broken. It's in my opinion it's completely terrible. I think there must be another sustainable material which is, I don't know, harder to be broken or whatever, which is better than paper, because in my opinion paper straws are terrible. But enough about my rant about paper straws. So yeah, you can see both sides. So one side they will be happy because of this change, and the other side they will be sad. And yeah, generally it is very difficult for both sides, for all sides, to be happy or sad with one single decision. And it is also possible for any one stakeholder group to experience both negative and positive effects from the same business decision. This is why conflicts of interest between stakeholder groups with different objectives and interests can arise. Okay, so match the stakeholder group with what they may expect from the business. So you guys can quickly do this. You guys can pause the video to have a try at it. Okay, so let's start with shareholders. So, shareholders, to be given safe working conditions. No, shareholders don't really care about safe working conditions. To be paid corporation tax. Mm, no. To receive regular loan repayments, we know that is not the case. To get value for money, shareholders, not necessarily. To be paid regular dividends, yes. Shareholders, they want to be paid regular dividends. Customers, okay, so seeing they do not want safe working conditions because they don't work there. Corporation tax, they don't care about that. To receive regular loan repayments, they don't give money to the company, so it wouldn't make sense. So I think the clear decision is to get value for the money that they put into the product or service. Employees, they want to be given safe working conditions. Suppliers, they want to receive like regular orders. Local community, they want to improve the surrounding environment. The government, they obviously want to be paid corporation tax. And the financiers, they want to where is it, to receive regular loan repayments. So this is a very straightforward activity, but you can see that it is very important to know each of these and and what they expect from the business itself. Okay, so here we have another activity, which once again I'm not gonna play the video for you guys to see. You guys can quickly try to do that, but I'll just skip that just because of time. So, stakeholder conflict. It is important for a business to balance the interests of its various stakeholders. So, the business, they cannot focus primarily on one stakeholder. They have to try to balance out and let, to some extent, all of them happy. So they have to, like, they have, using their different stakeholder groups, they have different priorities. For example, shareholders, they expect the business to make a profit and receive a return on their investments. Employees, they require good working conditions if they are to be retained. And investors may want to see evidence of how a company responds to environment issues before committing money to the business. So the stakeholder conflict, it arises when the needs of some stakeholder groups compromise the expectation of others. So for example, let's say a company, they really need to repay their loans. So they rise the price of their product from $10 to $15. So this might help them repay or pay their loans quicker because they will have more profit with their products, but they will create a conflict with the stakeholder group of the customers. So they might not buy as much of their product as before. So they really have to take that into account and see if it makes sense for the company to rise the price of the product, to repay and to let the stakeholder group of the banks to be happy while letting the customers be frustrated. Okay, so a quick exam tip. That many examination questions involve conflict of stakeholders' objectives. So remember that it is difficult for a business to meet all its responsibility to all stakeholders at any one time. So compromise might be necessary. Meeting as many stakeholder objectives as possible, or meeting the needs of most important group in each situation. So yeah, compromise is a very important word because the company will have to compromise in some areas to make more important stakeholders happier than others. Okay, so the stakeholder conflict example. So this is a quick scenario. You guys can read and quickly and tell your opinions. And yeah. Okay, so do stakeholder conflict activity. So here is a theory of knowledge which I'm gonna just if you guys want to do it, it's fine. But I'm not gonna go really into deep detail about it because this TOK is not the point of our lesson today. So stakeholder mapping, it is generally not really main important, but for the IB, but it is in the syllabus, so they could potentially ask you. So stakeholder mapping and stakeholder analysis. So is a management tool used to determine the key stakeholder of an organization based on the varying degrees of power and interest of the various stakeholder groups. So the stakeholder groups with a high degree of power and interest are known as key stakeholders. So successful businesses, they strive to fulfill as many of the needs and interests of various stakeholders as possible. But as mentioned, it is almost impossible to satisfy all stakeholders. So satisfying the key stakeholders is literally key to the success of your business. Okay, so the power interest model can be used to do stakeholder mapping. It was formulated in 1999 by Johnson and Scholes in their book Exploring Corporate Strategy. Okay, so this is the quick stakeholder mapping, the power interest matrix. So we have the level of interest, low and high, and the level of power, low and high. So A, we have minimal effort, and which has a low power and low level of interest. Keep informed, which has a high level of interest and low level of power. The keep satisfied, which they have a high level of power but low level of interest, so you need to keep them satisfied. And the key players and the key stakeholders, which they have a high power and high level of interest. So it is crucial as a business to identify where each stakeholder lies and how to treat them and how to satisfy them and their needs. Okay, so by placing each stakeholder group in the matrix, a business can decide on likely strategies. Group A, they can devote little energy and attention to satisfy their needs. Group B, they have to make them feel included and to some extent important. And Group C, you have to keep them satisfied, happy where they're at, show them that they have some influence, and they must be made feel important. And Group D, which they are like the maximum effort, you guys have, as a business, you have to keep them really, really happy and all the time talk to them, keep them informed. You guys, you have to show the key players that they are the most important stakeholder groups. Okay. So yeah, once again, there is here we have a video of Harvard class actually on stakeholder analysis in action. It's a very quite nice video. I recommend you guys watching it after this video. It is really quick. And it's really nice, and it's really fun to see, in my opinion. And yeah, guys, today's lesson, that's it. I hope you guys have learned. I hope you guys are able to now understand and answer all of these learning outcomes. And yeah, guys, if you have any suggestions of how to improve the content, any suggestion of how we could become a better channel, any suggestion of videos, please leave a like, smash the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.